Well, hey there everybody, welcome back to the channel. Well, today I'm going to take a look at some cool RC stuff from Temu. They were kind enough to sponsor this video and they sent me several things to review. I'm going to show you everything they sent me. Then today we'll be focusing on this little RC boat, and that's what we'll be reviewing. And then I'll show you the stuff here that they sent me, and those will be the focus of future videos. So you can see they sent me a couple of these nice bags, reusable shopping bags. Inside of here I've got this S116 brushless drone. Kind of looks like a mini Phantom, but it's not GPS or anything, but it's really inexpensive and ought to be a really fun flyer. And then they also sent me an RC drift car here. This is an all-wheel drive drift car, and I think it looks pretty cool, and this is also really inexpensive. And again, each one of these have their own dedicated videos here coming up on the channel very, very soon. Let me set these down on the ground and get them out of the way. But the boat we focus on today is this little Gallup B5. Now this is really inexpensive. It's like $30-some, and I think it looks pretty cool, and it's kind of a beginner's car. So there'll be a link down in the video description of this on Teemu's site. Also be sure to check out that $100 bundle coupon. It has a special coupon you can use when you enter into the Teemu site. So check down the video description for that whenever you do go to check out this little boat. Now, like I said, it's dual props, so it's dual motor. It's not, the rudder doesn't actually steer it with the controller. So again, this is just a beginner, basic, entry-level boat. But you can adjust this manually if it tends to be turning on its own a little bit. You can adjust it to make kind of like, trim it out so that it goes straight. But you're just using tank-type controls to actually control this, and I'll show you here in a moment. And this has some really cool LED lights on the top of this, around the top of the boat. So I'll show you that here. I plan on actually driving this at night so you can see this in those lights, because they're not going to show up very well during the day. But underneath here there's a 1-cell lithium ion. I'll show you a picture of that. It goes inside of here, and you do have to, when you plug it in, it powers up. So there's no on and off switch on this. So you just plug it in and it powers up the lights and the boat. They give you a little plastic stand for the boat, and then you get a charging cable for that battery, and 2 extra props, 1 for each motor. And then we've got the little controller here. And again, this is just tank controls. So both sticks up will run each one for each motor. So you're going to go straight forward like this, and then both sticks back will go backwards. And then you turn by doing your basic, giving the input to whichever motor powers it, and then it will turn by giving more thrust to one motor or one propeller than the other. So that's all you get with this. It is available in blue and gray. And again, this is called the Racer Gallop B5. You can see some video playing back here off the Temu site for this little boat. So that's pretty much all there is with this. There's not a lot to cover with this little boat. I think there'll be a lot more in-depth stuff to cover for the drone and the car, especially the drone, in those upcoming videos. So let's get outside to my pool, because this is perfect for something small like a pool. And we'll drive it around out there in the pool and just see how well this little boat performs. So I'll be right back. All right, so I'm out back here next to my pool. And as you guys can see, the LED lights look fantastic on this little boat. So that's why I figured we'd do it at night. That way you can see the LED lights and the boat go at the same time. Because in the daytime, those lights are not going to be super visible. And this boat should want to stay upright. It mentions the instructions are very brief. But it does mention on the box about the anti-capsizing. They call it some other term. You're not going to do any forward back motion to do that. It should just want to stay upright. If it flips, I think it's just going to want to automatically, the way the boat's balanced, just self-right or flip itself back around so that it is upright. So keep that in mind. Now, I don't know how well this top is sealed. There is no real sealing mechanism that I can tell. The battery just kind of sits down in a little compartment. So I would imagine this could fill up with water sort of easily, but that won't hurt anything. If as long as you let it dry out, the battery is not going to be damaged from that. Let's go ahead and set it in the water here. All right, let's just see how this little boat does. Now I'm going to give it both sticks forward. It moves pretty quick. Just kind of steer it there by just letting up on the one stick. Left one turns to the right, right one turns to the left. Those LEDs look great. This is pretty easy to control. My daughter's been driving around a car with the same kind of controls. In fact, it's that little amphibious, but it's similar, not exactly the same as this. But she gets it down, and she's 7. It might be a little. This actually might be easier for a kid than your traditional control. I don't know. It moves along pretty decent. I mean, I don't think that's too bad considering you just got 2 little brushed motors in there and just a 1-cell lithium-ion pack. It's, you know, it's not going to be super fast on 1 cell, but that's a pretty decent. Perfect for a pool about like size we have here, or anything a little bit bigger. If you're going to take it out on a lake or a pond, just make sure the conditions are relatively calm, because with it only being 1 cell and rather small, I don't know how well it's going to handle big choppy waves. It just may not be very fast. Not that it's fast anyway, but you know, I mean, it's better for something like this. Now to go backwards, you can do both sticks back, and it's just going to sputter as all of them do. It moves back, but it's never going to be very quick that way. By the way that the props are, are designed for going forward. But you can certainly back up. And that's going to be most effective if you're up against the side of something. You just want to back up a little bit so you can make that turn. Now this is a very toy grade, very tiny controller. And these trims are fake. They're not real. So as I mentioned in the table portion of this video, you have to actually adjust the rudder a little bit to where you want to be able to turn. Adjust it if the boat's wanting to turn on you a little bit. But I think the LEDs really set this boat apart from what you typically see. It just looks really, really cool here at night. You can see the LEDs are shining off the bottom of the boat. Now with this being as I mentioned, a very small, toy type controller, I don't know what the range is going to be in this. I wouldn't also expect it to be much. It's powered off 2 AA batteries, but if you're out on a lake or something, this is not going to go far. So keep it very close to you. Again, that's why it's really good for the pool. And there's no on and off switch. It's just, you can see when you give it input, then the light lights up, and it binds to the boat at that point. And then that's whenever it actually draws power from the battery. So it's not it's a very entry-level controller, but it's not one I would expect to have, really incredible range. So this is perfect for someone who wants a little RC boat, just getting into maybe RC and they want to try something out. This is great to kind of get your feet wet, so to speak, no pun intended. Or maybe even an adult who just wants something to tinker around with in their backyard like I have here. Because a big brushed or brushless boats with water cooling in that, not only are those considerably more expensive, but they are way too fast for this. The big boats, you wouldn't even get going. You'd be hitting the side, and then a pool like mine, you can end up poking a hole in the liner with the front of the boat or something. So keep that in mind. This boat doesn't have enough speed and mass to it to be able to do that. I'm going to try to steer it up here to the steps, and that ought to be enough for this video. We should have a lot more run time. Now, I didn't mention this either, they do say this will go into a low power state. That's what all these boats do. Whenever you get down to the low battery, to save the lithium-ion pack from getting too low, because these lithium-ion LiPo packs, they need to be kept at a voltage, above a certain threshold, otherwise it can damage the cell. So when it gets really low, it will go to low power state, and that allows you enough time to bring it back to shore or to the edge of the pool to recover the boat before the battery goes completely dead. So that is a nice feature all these little boats like this one does have. All right, guys, if you're new to the channel and you want to see more videos, including the upcoming 2 other Teemu RC products, and be sure to subscribe to the channel, click the bell that way you're notified when I do upload new videos. And as always, guys, have a wonderful day.
The power of the dark side.